Welcome to this week's video interview. I'm speaking to Matt Graves. I first met Matt about 20 years ago, and he and his colleague Vicky Banthorpe used to run the marketing department for a firm I was head of sales for. They were absolutely brilliant. They used to give me a shed load of really good quality leads, and I just used to go out and chat to accountants. It was my idea of heaven and their idea of heaven. So, Matt, welcome to our video interview. Matt's come today to talk to us about AI and what all the fuss is about. We've probably all used it a little bit, but he is a real expert on AI. I've talked to him for hours about it, and he is absolutely brilliant. So I hope you will agree with that when you've heard him just speak for a short while. We'll cover three things today, just a brief intro and what the opportunities are for AI, then a bit more about the dangers of AI, and then lastly, we'll do a bit on security because for those of you who are accountants, we know you love compliance. So there we go. I hope that's good for you, Matt. And off you go. So, Matt, tell me about AI. What could I use AI for? Why should I use it as I'm a business?
Yeah, well, firstly, thanks for inviting me onto the podcast, and I'm really excited to be here to tell you more about some of what we do. Yeah, I mean, AI is just really ramped up. The last 18 months, we've seen an explosion, and our businesses are now kind of waking up to the kind of need to get on board with AI. And I think in terms of what it can do for businesses, I mean, you know, really, where do you start? In terms of time savings, the amount of time it can save in terms of whether it's creating content for your marketing teams, whether it's helping you to analyze data, whether it's helping you to build websites, whether it's helping to support your customer service team with responding to inbound inquiries. It's the technology has moved on to such a degree. Even in the last 6 months, we've seen so much improvement in the technology available through the AI tools that it's no longer a tool that has just been reserved for companies with big budgets and big IT departments. It is now it is now at a point where it's available and can be utilized to a high degree for all companies of all sizes, from sole practitioners, entrepreneurs, right through to multinational companies. So, and one of the things we're doing is helping to educate and show people about the benefits that AI can bring to their organizations.
So, give me some examples as to how I should use it in my business.
Sure. Well, one of the ways in which you could use it in your business is to support creating content. So we've built a number of AI assistants that we use internally for helping to create content for whether it's blog articles, whether it's for content across social media, whether it's creating content and copy for marketing campaigns. We're also working with a client at the minute to create a customer service agent. So it's effectively a website chatbot which responds to any inbound inquiries that are coming in. And the way this is different to some of the chatbots of the past is that it's trained specifically on the knowledge that you give it, and you can train it to refer to your team directly. So you can train it with all the knowledge about your company and its products and services, but where it needs to refer or where the person inquiring is asked to speak to a real person, it can then refer on to that person if needed. So, that's just one example of one of the AI tools we're building at the minute.
So, Matt, I've got experience of chatbots with my bank. It is a sales prevention device, basically. It's a real nightmare. I
I'm
hate it
sorry
with
to hear
us with a
that.
vengeance. If Mr. Bank Manager, if you're listening to that, please take note. Okay. They do tell me I could ask to speak to a human, but even that they make difficult. So is your AI chatbot not exactly the same as that?
Well, so I think the technology has moved on so much even in the last year that the sort of chatbots that are being built now are completely different to some of the ones that were built 3, 4, 5 years ago. They're far more responsive. They're far more realistic. What's really exciting is the is voice agents. So when you're actually picking up the phone and you're speaking to what sounds like a human being, but it's an AI powered agent. And you would not know the difference. It's just absolutely incredible. One of the things that we are really clear on when we're working with clients is the importance of transparency and the importance of making sure, people aren't hiding behind the technology. You're making it very clear up front that I'm an AI assistant, AI powered assistant, and I can answer most of your questions. But if anything, if there's anything I don't know or you need further support, I can refer you on to a member of the team internally, and then it can hand over to an actual member of your team if need be. It can also capture leads and make sure all of those leads are stored into whatever CRM that you're using. So it can be that's just one example of how a customer service agent can be a really great first port of call to help deal with, even if it's 80% of inbound inquiries and some of those FAQs, but still log any
Yeah.
inquiries and sales leads.
So the case you're looking at, when we've discussed it, that's saving that client about £30,000 a year because it saves them one staff member, doesn't it? It's a big company with a lot of leads coming in. But you used to
Is
be part of a smaller company, and how many hours a day did AI save you?
so when I started using AI in a previous role about 18 months ago, um, I was saving 2 hours a day just on writing content. Because my role was in strategic marketing, communications, and PR, and a lot of that involved writing copy and writing content. So my background is in marketing and comms. Um, Now, I've been writing copy for 25 years, Alan. So, I'm more than capable of writing good quality copy, but it takes
Yeah.
time and you have to kind of be in the zone. You have to, have quiet time for maybe a couple of hours to really get your thoughts down. And starting from a blank sheet of paper is often the hardest. But having an AI assistant that can help me create a blog article that I can go to it's trained on my company, so it knows my tone of voice, it knows how I want my how I want to sound when I'm writing copy, whether it's for a blog article or for a brochure or for a LinkedIn post. And I can feed it with a topic and say, I'd like to write a blog article on this topic. Can you produce that? And it's not to say that I'll use it straight out of a box. I mean, you'd be foolish to just copy and paste and publish it straight away. But it gets me at least 85, if not 90% of the way there. Yes, I then top and tail that and tweak it. But what it does is it saves me from starting from a blank sheet of paper. It means I can knock out content far quicker than I was doing previously. It's great for doing things like client reports as well. And I mean, it's saving me at least 2.5 hours a day now,
Yeah.
and that's just on
And
writing copy.
I've seen the accountancy profession doing something similar by writing advisory letters on tax using AI. And you have to turn your brain on because sometimes the AI think it's the tax totally wrong. But generally speaking, in about 80% of cases, it gets it totally right. And it saves me a good 2 hours of writing the letter, basically. So, and even I've had discussions with AI about case law, and it's been very interesting because it saves me reading the entire 51 pages of the latest case, which is sitting on my desk. So
Yeah.
it can be really, really useful because it would go away and it would read everything that someone had written on that case and then just paraphrase it in two paragraphs.
So
So
exactly, we've used exactly the same for one of the things we do is support clients with AI governance, and ISO IEC 42001 is the ISO standard for AI governance, and it's a 60-page document. It's pretty heavy reading. It's not really like bedtime reading. But again, what I was able to do was use my AI assistant to just summarize that, give me the key points. I have read it in full, and I've got it on my coffee table actually highlighted for various bits, but having my AI assistant that could just summarize it and give me the key points and some of the key things I might want to bring out in a blog article was so useful. And as you say, that's for being able to analyze lots of data like that, or long reports and summarize it is really helpful.
so so Matt, does that mean I remember the highlight of my professional career was sitting in a Pizza Hut in Croydon reading the Insolvency Act 1986? Am I no longer going to have to do that?
Sounds like you have all of fun, Alan. Well, you could still do that if that's what you wanted to do, but no, I mean, what you could do is use an AI assistant that summarizes that for you and just gives you the key points.
Wow, that is amazing. Right. Okay. So this sounds too good to be true that you can save me 3 hours a day, or not you particularly, but Chat GPT or whoever it is could save me 3 hours a day. Um, is it too good to be true?
Think. with all technology like this, there are responsibilities with it as well. In the same way as when the internet came on board, there was responsibilities of how we use it. And AI, we're seeing the same. It's slightly different at the minute because AI tools, as I'm sure you and all your viewers know, are so freely available to anyone. Anyone can set up a free ChatGPT account. Most people who are in a company that use Office 365 probably have Copilot. Anyone can go in and start doing stuff. And the danger is if a company hasn't got an AI governance policy or a governance framework in place, the danger is people within a company could be uploading who knows what client data, confidential information, information about the company to these AI tools. And the danger is that data is going outside of the EU. It could be being used to train the AI tools themselves if it hasn't been properly set up and locked down. So potentially, if little Jimmy, who's just joined as an accounts assistant, is uploading this month's management accounts to ChatGPT, that data could be used to train the AI model. So there's real risks there.
So
There's
does
also
that mean it will publish my clients' profit figures?
potentially, yeah. So if you're putting your client's profit figures into ChatGPT,
Yeah.
yeah, if you're just using a public version of it and you haven't locked it down, then yeah, potentially that could be
Yeah.
retrieved by someone else.
So you have to know how to lock it down and keep the security well under control.
That's
And
it, yeah.
that sounds a bit that sounds a bit complicated to me. If I get stuck, well, our viewers get stuck, can I give you a call and you can just talk to them about what?
Yeah, absolutely. We're running a series of free webinars actually will be soon with some
Yeah.
more information about exactly how to do that.
Yeah.
And yes, I mean, there are a number of different tools available on the market for different things. The most commonly used ones, which I'm sure most people have heard about, ChatGPT. It's a great tool. I use it all the time for various things. But when I'm dealing with more sensitive information, I will use Microsoft. I'll use Microsoft Copilot. The beauty of Copilot is anything you're uploading stays within your organization's environment. So it's all locked down by default. If you're using your company's Office 365 environment and using Copilot within it, you can
Yeah.
be assured that anything that little Jimmy's uploading into his Copilot is safely secured within the guardrails of your company's 365 environment.
And
Where
you told me a horror story about little Jimmy getting hold of board meeting minutes. Is that correct?
Yeah, I was just going to come to that actually. As where it gets really important if you're going to consider rolling out Copilot and give all of your staff access to Copilot, it's a great tool, and we'd absolutely, that's the tool we recommend clients to use if they're using the 365 environment. One thing to be mindful of is a bit of housekeeping first. And by housekeeping, I mean making sure any of your SharePoint folders and SharePoint files are secure and have the relevant permissions. So, for example, one of the things we came across was, and I'm not going to use the real names, but yeah, let's call it little Jimmy who joined the accounts team. And, you know, he could go into Copilot and he could say, give me the latest board report, and the board report is filed away in a folder that no one ever uses. It's hidden away, but the permissions haven't been set on that folder to restrict access to certain individuals only. And because Copilot, what's great about it is you can ask it for any information and it will pull that information from anywhere on your company SharePoint file. So little Jimmy can go in and say, can you give me the board report? And hey presto, Copilot will give it to him if the permissions haven't been set. So
So he
there's an
might not know
important
where the board
stage.
report is hidden, but he can find it
Yeah, but he can ask
by
Copilot and
just
give it to
typing
him.
into
Yeah, that's it. So
give
that's
me
why
detail,
we
as
recommend.
much detail. Yeah,
Yeah, that's why we
yeah,
recommend
right.
making sure that before an organization rolls it out, just checking that any files or any confidential information is securely stored, and permissions have been set on those SharePoint folders. Assuming the permissions have been set, and the only people to access the board files are members of a board, and little Jimmy's not a member of a board, so little Jimmy won't get that board report when he asks for it.
Right. Little Jimmy does sound as though he's got a lot of initiative. If he wants a job once he gets discovered,
Yeah.
give me a call. Okay, lovely. That
Yeah,
is really great.
he might need a job
Thanks
soon
so much for that.
if he keeps doing what he's doing. Yeah.
Yes, yes. Okay. Lovely. That sounds really brilliant. Okay, right. We'll put this up on the Facebook group and also on my LinkedIn profile. So if people want to listen or watch it, that'd be good. If you want to get in touch with Matt, he is really good on AI. I've spent many hours talking to him. And over the course of time, we do other interviews with interesting people in the businesses, which I hope you'll come along and listen to. Anyway, bye for now.